Okay, so welcome everybody to another episode of the Our Clovis podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Anita Pinto Young, and with me today I have my two troublesome co-hosts who'll introduce themselves.
I'm Sherelle Wilson Morrison.
And Rose Tabere.
Yes, sir. And we have a guest today. We have a
Oh,
guest
yeah.
who will introduce herself. Go on, Yvonne. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Right. Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I'm very honoured to be here. I'm Yvonne Okiyo, and I'm certified holistic nutrition coach, and I'm also a certified perimenopause and menopause coach.
Nice. Fantastic, isn't it? So today we're going to be talking about nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to be talking about? I think.
Yes.
So Yvonne is going to lead the conversation, yeah? And we'll follow along because she's here to teach us about all things nutrition, about the work you do in terms of coaching, supporting women, around menopause, maybe around things around women's health. I don't even know. I mean, last time you said, Yvonne, that this is a really broad topic. So I'm kind of leaving it up to you. But tell us about what it is that you do in terms of this role as a nutrition coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely broad nutrition because, but essentially what I do is empower women to thrive and not survive. I think a lot of us are just in survival mode in our lives, and we really can thrive. All of us want to be successful. Success is different for different people, whether it's success at work, in your full-time employment, part-time employment, or business. A lot of us have businesses, whether you're unemployed, a mother, a wife, whatever the case may be. We want to do our best, and everyone wants to thrive, right? And nutrition is one of the ways we can do that, and I don't think a lot of us realize just how powerful it is. So I support women to do that. I say empower women to do that because it's all within our gift. Sometimes you just need that person to be your cheerleader along the way, and that's essentially what I do. So with holistic nutrition, it's looking at what you eat, of course, hence nutrition, but it's holistic, so it's looking at you, the whole person. So it's also looking at your mindset, which is so important, especially as women, but also your lifestyle. We all have different lifestyles. How is that? Let's delve into your lifestyle, how we can support, whether it's stress, sleep, etc., movement, but also habits, because we all have habits. Some are conscious, some are unconscious. And in order to have that healthy lifestyle, you need to have those sustainable habits, because a lot of things are very short term, very quick fix, and that's why people plateau or they don't start and finish. So it's really building the sustainable habits. So it's threefold: mind, body, soul, and all three are really interconnected for us to thrive, and that's essentially what I do.
Wow. Healthy habits.
Yes.
So helping some people to learn good habits like Sherelle.
Yeah.
About changing your mindset, Sherelle.
I'm just laughing because obviously we're talking about the 70 hard, the 70 soft, and the 75, medium. And
What is that in relation to?
I'm going to hand the mic back over to you, Yvonne, to kind of give us a sense of what is it. And because I know obviously you mentioned that you're doing that.
Yes.
And just to kind of give our listeners, a bit of how has it been for you, how you've been finding it.
Well, it's actually quite a popular, don't know what I'd call it. It's a challenge. It's called the 75-day challenge. And there's three ways you can take part. There's the soft, the medium, and the hard. And essentially, it's now and again is just good. You can be coasting, right? So now and again is just something to be like, okay, let me just get back on track or challenge myself a bit. So every now and again, I'd like to do it at least 3 times a year just to get me in that place. So essentially, it depends which level. I'm currently doing the medium. I think a lot of people, great, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do the hard. And you honestly need to be realistic, which is what my nutrition is about. It's about being realistic. You know yourself and what you're capable of. So I would say, if you've never done it before, start with the soft, go to the medium, and then go to the hard, or do the medium as many times as you can. But essentially, it's for 75 days, of course. In that, it's about self-development, really. It's a journey. So you pick a self-development book. For medium, for example, it's reading 10 pages of the book a day. In that time, it's also picking a diet. So diet isn't necessarily like a fad diet. It's like what's your nutrition, what nutrition path are you going to follow in that 75 days. So you'll pick something that works for you again. And then it's also important to incorporate movement, which I love. So with the medium, it's working out for 45 days a day. Sorry, 45 minutes,
a day,
I beg your pardon, a day. With the hard, you have to do 2 workouts. So it's just a great way to do that and just check in on yourself. Why not? So, yeah. But for me, doing it in a group is fantastic because you have that
Motivation.
support. I'm all about community and empowerment and supporting each other, and that just makes it easier. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Are we gonna do it, Cheryl?
So I was saying this earlier on. If there was like a baby soft,
No,
that would be ideal because
But you're pretending, Cheryl, like you do basketball. Come on, like you don't need a baby soft. Why would you need a baby?
you know what
soft?
it is. So not to make this about me, but as you know, the mic's here, might as well.
Yes.
When you said 10 pages, I've always had that incentive to do reading. You need to come to my house and see I have a bookshelf full of books. Every time I hear a new book, I'm like, excellent, I'm going to buy it. And I do buy it. And it goes onto the nice bookshelf. And if you were to ask my husband, he says, how many times have you read a page? No
But what
response.
about? But can people use Kindle or Audible?
you can, because and
See?
that's the other reason you need to do the challenge,
Hey-ya.
because it will make you read one of those books. I mean, with the soft, I'm not sure how many pages you need to read. It might be less. It might just be 5 pages, for example.
Okay.
But that's more reason, because sometimes we put things off. I'm going to start this, we don't, and this just gets you on that track. So whether it's a Kindle, like I said, Anita, an actual, I'm traditional, so I like flicking pages, whatever. And it's self-development. It's just such a good time to focus on yourself. I think that's the other thing we don't do as women. We're so busy.
Yes.
It's time to just focus on you and your health and well-being. That's essentially what I do as well, because we need to do that. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you mentioned, not being pouring out of an empty cup, because as a working mom, for instance, often my focus is I've got to get into work. I've got to complete the chores, make sure the children are ready and are off to school and that kind of thing. So in terms of nutrition, because at times my go-to thing is I'll pick something at work. So for a working parent, for instance, what would your advice be?
I mean, honestly, you're not alone, because it's this, especially in this Western lifestyle, the busyness. We're always busy, always doing things, which is why we need to prioritize our nutrition in the first place. I mean, for me, the key thing is preparation. So meal planning and meal prep is like my go-to. On the weekend, I tend to do mine on a Sunday, for example. But I mean, pick any other day of the week. If you work part-time, etc., pick an evening. And really, the first thing is bulk buying. So buy your food in bulk where you can. And then just we all have 24 hours in the day. So I don't believe this whole time myth, because we all have 24 hours. How are we utilizing that time? So just, if it's important to you, you'll prioritize it. So give yourself half an hour, whatever it takes. Buy it in bulk, prepare what you need to prepare, and just literally portion out your meals and ensure, of course, it's a balanced meal. And then that way, if you portion out your meals, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't have to be breakfast, actually. We'll come on to that later. I don't believe in whole breakfast. But that way, you're less likely to make those poor choices, because I think that's what it is. You get to work, the high streets are full of all these convenience foods. Then you pop into the nearest Greg's or whatever the case may be. Whereas if you'd prepped that lunch beforehand, it's simply a case of putting it in your bag the next morning, heating it in the microwave or whatever the case may be. So it's really about preparation. Preparation is key. Like, buy in bulk, prepare your foods, and do whatever makes it easier. If you need to pre-chop your veg, cook the rice in bulk, the pasta, the quinoa, whatever the case may be, have your proteins there, have your carbohydrates, have your healthy fats, then just put it together and pull out what you need to pull out and take it to work. I prep even my snacks. I have my snacks in there. It honestly just makes it easier because it's so easy to go for convenience foods, but if you have what you have on you, then you're less likely to make those poorer choices. So and make it a family thing. Involve your children, or just carve out some time. Sometimes I'm in the kitchen for like 5 hours or whatever, but it pays that later in the week when I don't have to, especially when you've had a really long day or a really long week, and you're like, oh, what do I have to go and cook? It's like, oh yeah, I just pull something out. There you go. It honestly, it sounds a lot, but it's for the greater good.
Yeah. And there's
And
some
you know
people
what
who
you're
like
eating.
fresh food.
Yeah.
As in fresh food. I mean, there's some people who habitually don't like food that's been refrigerated
Yeah, I
and
know
want
that.
fresh food daily.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a question of how would we get over that?
Is it yourself? Is that because when you said some
No.
people, I'm just wondering.
No.
Is that a reference to yourself?
I'm okay with I batch cook, and I'm okay
Fantastic.
with fridge food, and I think sometimes the kind of refrigerator you have makes a difference. So one that can actually store food and keep it fresh. I was gonna ask a question though, Yvonne, and Cheryl threw me off track.
Good.
I was gonna ask you, what are some of the main challenges that you see in terms of the client group that you have? What are some of the main challenges, and particularly among the sort of Black community?
I mean, time comes up off a lot. I just don't have the time. Another one is, I think a lot of it is our mindset, actually, which is why with holistic nutrition coaching, I look at mindset. It's a lot of the things we're telling ourselves, we need to stop sabotaging ourselves. There's also just information overload. We live in this age where there's so much on our phones or social media, etc. People who aren't really qualified giving advice. So there's information overwhelm, and sometimes people are just like, who do I listen to, etc. Some of it could be cultural as well. So we have those hang-ups from our childhood. Because, for example, I've got a client where I'm sure, obviously, I'm not going to divulge her name, but in terms of overeating, because when I'm talking about habits or lifestyle, it's because as a child, and a lot of African and African Caribbean heritage, finish what's on your plate. You must finish your food. So because of that, she's grown up overeating, bless her. Because our body sends us those cues to tell us, okay, now you're full. But if your parents like, you have to finish what's on your plate. So she's used to overeating. It's stretched her stomach, etc. So sometimes it's hang-ups from childhood or culture, and then sometimes it's like, oh, but if I'm eating healthy, I have to stop enjoy. No, we're not. I still eat I still eat my favorite foods. That's the best part, actually. So it's actually looking for healthier alternatives. Cook it in a different way. We all have air fryers now, most of us, or steaming, air frying. It's still the same foods. And sure, if you do eat animal products, get lean cuts of meat, get rid of the skin, etc., etc. It's just finding alternative and healthier ways to cook what we like. Rice, we all love our rice, right? Instead of the white rice, go for your brown, etc. So it's just making those alternatives. It's not, I don't eat like rabbit food. You can make healthy food. It's just how you season. I still season my food. It still tastes delicious. So yeah, I think a lot of it is the hang-ups we have.
Mindset.
That's good. So I'm intrigued, Yvonne. What got you into nutrition and healthy eating, having a healthy lifestyle? I'm just intrigued.
Yeah, so where are we? 2025. So actually 10 years ago, unfortunately, I lost my brother in December. No, that's okay. And at the time it happened, so I lost him in December. In January, one of my colleagues was like, why don't you join the gym and just find something else to focus on, right? Because it can either go positive or negative. So I did. I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. And fitness generally became an outlet. Exercise became an outlet, if I'm completely honest. I know a lot of people do exercise. It's the vanity, especially these days, in terms of how they want to look. And it's all about the physical. But what people don't realize is that the inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the holistic nutrition coaching is inside out that I do. It's as how I felt inside. So emotionally,
Yeah.
it was just great. Then as I started noticing, of course, the physical gains, etc., taking it more seriously, I thought I really need to look at what I'm eating as well, because
Yeah.
it's actually 80% nutrition, 20% movement.
Wow.
So I started testing things on myself, seeing the results.
80%
was
nutrition,
like,
20%
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, it is. It is. And just seeing the results it had on me, because with nutrition, it's not just food. It's what you're putting in you. How is it making you feel? How are you feeling after you eat? How is it supporting you to feel? How is it supporting you to function, like day to day? How is it supporting you in terms of performance? In this case, for me, it was exercising. But it's not just performance if you're an active person, it's performance even at work. When we get that 3 p.m. slump, or if you have a bit of brain fog, whether that's brought on by perimenopause or menopause, it might be because maybe you're dehydrated. It could be because you're not eating enough B vitamins, for example. So it's amazing how nutrition can really support. It supports everything. People don't realize the power of food. It really is. So of course I decided to go into. I thought I'm going to get certified, and then I could see there is. I was like, I need to share this with people, because the world you live in, the pharmaceutical industry, of course, they make money off us being ill. Animal industry, agriculture, etc. They that's how they make their money. So they're not going to tell us, you can heal yourself through food. Food is medicine. So I really want, and as a Christian, God did not mean God wants us to be the help to thrive, right?
Yes.
So if He's put it on me to support people to be how He created us to be in His image, to be healthy, body, mind, soul, so be it. So it's my passion, and I want to empower as many women as I can. I work solely with women to also thrive and just be the best version of themselves. Because if you can do it for you, it becomes generational. We all talk about wealth.
Yeah.
Generational wealth is not just financial, it's also health. Right? Health is wealth. Because if you're healthy, again, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You're a better you, which means you can perform at your best. You're a better wife, you're a better mother, better sister, friend, whatever the case may be, because it's all about emotional, physical, mental well-being. So and that's essentially it.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
no worries.
I'm glad you raised, the issue of, supporting women and working with women, because a number of my friends, and I've heard from church, even my siblings, talking about, I've been advised you're going to be pre-diabetic, and having all these terms thrown at you, go and have this test, that test, and so in terms of what would a healthy because especially from an African like me, we tend to eat a lot of stodgy foods, and so cornmeal, rice, and in my case, millet is often the main, the main part of the food, aside from the meat stews and vegetables. So what would your advice be in terms of nutrition and how to make that
Again,
more
with a
balanced?
lot of African and Caribbean heritage foods, I think it's looking at, first is the quality of the food. So millet is great. It's such a good grain. I mean, things like sweet potatoes, a lot of it, so carbs aren't bad. I need to get rid of this whole don't eat the number of people are like, I'm not eating carbohydrates, I'm limiting my carbohydrates. I'm like, no, please don't do that. We need carbohydrates. So a macronutrient, we need carbohydrates in order to function. We need them for energy. If you're having low energy, if you're having fatigue, it's probably because you haven't eaten enough carbohydrates. So we need carbohydrates. They're a key macronutrient. We 100% need carbohydrates. The mistake is there's two types of carbohydrates. There's simple carbohydrates. Those are the ones you want to avoid. They're very dense, and they have no nutritional value at all. So they have like zero nutrients. So those are all the white carbs, or all your white rice, white sugar. Well, you just want to avoid sugar. That's another top. We could do a podcast on sugar, because I do a sugar challenge. Sugar is just poison, but that's a story for another day. So all your breads, pasta, etc. You want to avoid the whites. Go for the browns. The reason is the whites 9 times out of 10 have been processed, so they've been stripped of all the nutrients. So it's pointless. You know, I might as well just eat this table. Honestly, because honestly, so avoid those and stick to the complex carbohydrates. They're your friend. So they're all the browns. Brown rices, sweet potato. I'm not saying completely avoid white potato, by the way. Your brown rice, all of that. All the grains, the whole grains, all things like oats, they are very good for you. For one, they keep you satisfied, they keep you fuller for longer. So if you're trying to manage your weight, you want to feel full, which means you have less cravings, etc. They give you energy. We need it. So we need those complex carbohydrates. So no, don't avoid it. It's about eating the right carbohydrates. But of course, you want to look at portion size for everything. So yeah, it's all about balance, really.
Does that, how about cassava? Is that one of the white? Just so
Rose is getting a coaching session.
No.
She's getting a coaching session.
Right. Cassava is actually okay. Again, it's how you're cooking it. So I think the other thing is we need to be mindful how we're cooking, how much oil we're using. So oils, and again, it's what kind of oil. So we want to go for the olive oil, avocado, things like that. We don't want all those seeded oils. So again, it's what oils are we using? They can be calorific, of course, but we want those healthy fats that are good for our hormonal health. How are you cooking the cassava? Things like potatoes, actually keep the skin, because the fiber, again, we need that fiber. Fiber is so good for us. So with potatoes, I eat them skin on. Cook them skin on rather. So we need those carbs, but it's eating the right
Healthy
carbohydrates.
Carbs. I mean, you're dropping so many nuggets, and I heard you say you can actually heal the body with food. And I still haven't gotten over 80% nutrition, 20% movement, because a lot of people think you need to be in the gym, you need to be doing all of this movement to be healthy. But that just kind of threw me like, really, 80%? And I suppose I'd ask you, like, maybe for an example of how you've probably worked with somebody to improve their health around supporting them to change their nutrition. And then, like, some of the success stories you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, first going to the 80-20. I mean, movement is key. The other thing I'm seeing, unfortunately, in this day and age, we're just not moving enough.
Wow.
Especially with this hybrid working, which I love, but it means we are literally just sitting there all day typing. This sedentary lifestyle in the West, they say it's like it's equivalent to smoking X amount of cigarettes a day. That's how dangerous it actually is if you're not moving enough. I mean, people tend to say exercise. I say movement, because exercise, people automatically think the gym, and no, movement is different for different people. So it could be walking, which by the way is fantastic. Walking is just so great for you. It could be gentle movements, so things like yoga, Pilates, etc., which are great, of course, for stretching. Stretching is so important, especially as we age. It's important to stretch our joints, etc. But then, of course, there's a gym, whether the gyms you go to an actual gym or work out at home. But running, swimming, dancing, there's so many, as long as we are moving, that's the key thing. Because if God blesses us to live long, I want to have a quality life where I pray God gives my son grandchildren. I can play with my grandkids, right? I want to be able to play with them and not be out of breath and be running with them.
Yes.
But I also want to be able to, my mum, bless her, she turned 80. It's fantastic. She is she doesn't need no walking stick.
Yes.
She's independent. I want to be independent if I'm blessed to live that long. God forbid I'm in a home you know. But I want to be independent. I want to be able to, when I go to the loo, I can literally get up from the toilet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I still have that strength in my muscles. I can walk up the stairs. I can cook for myself. I want that quality of life. And if I'm blessed, and the way to do that is through movement, because
Yeah.
everything is a muscle.
Yeah.
If we're not using those muscles, they start, oh, okay,
You lose them,
Yvonne doesn't need that. So it's so important. So movement is so key. But nutrition, the two go together, which is why I focused on nutrition, because I'm fueling my body. So how am I going to function? It's like a car.
Yeah.
Nutrition is the petrol for the car. I know now we have electric cars, but it's the petrol. So the two honestly go together. Because some people will be in the gym for goodness knows how long, and they're not getting those gains. The reason is because you're not fueling your body, your performance in the gym. If you'll be amazed how better you perform, how better you recover. Even recovery is even more important. You need to have a rest day. Your muscles, you need to feed your muscles. You need to rest your muscles. It's all very sciencey, but the nutrition is honestly so important. In order to just perform and function, and that's why it's the 80%, because the different macronutrients, micronutrients really do affect so many different parts of your body. So that is the reason why.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry, you asked another question.
No, I was asking about an example of how you've probably supported somebody to use food to improve their health.
So there's one client, talking of diabetes, because people don't realize, with a lot of these chronic conditions, majority are lifestyle, especially in the West. That's why in Africa and the Caribbean, we don't hear a lot of these diseases. It's more common in the West because the lifestyle here is very different. So there's a client who basically has I've helped her to reverse her diabetes. So now she's pre-diabetic, whereas before. But again, it's just literally supporting her nutrition, her sugar, managing her sugar, so balancing her blood sugar, any sugar cravings, but also habits in terms of noticing hunger cues, eating the right portion, so she's feeling fuller, but getting the right nutrients in is so key, because that's when our body is all craving, etc. So and also just movement, so it's just balancing all of the above and looking at her sleep, etc. She's sleeping better, so it's things like that.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So I'm coming back to this 80-20, similar to Anita. My mind has been blown. So thinking back, what would be your advice to get people to improve, and also, most importantly, to maintain?
So I think sometimes we overthink it. I mean, for me, I want to simplify things as much as possible. So when I work with, whether you're a one-to-one client, whether you're doing one of my programs, whether you're doing a challenge, if you join my sessions, I do various sessions. I try and simplify as much as I can, because like I said, there's so much information, and nutrition can be a bit sciencey. So let's, if I can... if my 16-year-old son can understand it, I'm doing the right thing. Because if something's simple, you're more likely to stick to it. Let's be honest about it. So with the 80-20, again, it's not about perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. So that's the other thing. I think people think it's all about perfection. No, that's not realistic. So that's the other thing. We need to be realistic, because just like at work, we have these SMART objectives. It's the same thing. We need to be realistic. Life will be lifing. Things happen. So with the 80-20, it's really about 80% of the time, you want to be thinking, I need to be eating quality food. It needs to be whole foods as well. So basically things that are grown, right? So you want all your fruits, all your vegetables, you want all your whole grains, If you can go organic, even better. But basically, we want to avoid processed foods. We really want to avoid those ultra processed foods that they are not good for you. Anything that's man-made, you don't know what they've put, what additives or
Is
preservatives.
bacon processed? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all this processed meats, sausages, bacon. So I'm not saying cut them out completely, but you don't want to be eating them 80% of the time.
Day, yeah.
So 80% of the time should be whole foods or all the whole grains, etc., or your proteins, your carbohydrates, healthy fats, but try and ensure they're wholesome whole foods. Not none of this packet stuff, etc. And the other thing with packets, the nutrition labels are there for a reason, especially if we're in the UK. We get the amber thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's there for you. You can see how much
Sugar.
if it's red, like you know, I nearly got my phone out. But there's this app, Yuka. Has anyone heard of Yuka? The Yuka app. Please get your phones and add it. It's a fantastic app. YUKA.
Yeah.
I go shopping with it. So basically, when you're in the shop, scan the barcode, and Yuka will rate it for you if it's good, bad, etc.
Wow.
So yeah, I always use it. If you're just thinking of a quick way, I always use it. But basically, yeah. So you want to also check the nutrition label. Use things like Yuka. Get that on your phone. So that's 80%, and then 20% is be flexible, because I'm not about being rigid. I don't believe in restricting foods or calories, because that's not healthy. It can become an unhealthy habit. You get eating disorders, etc. So yeah, have your slice of cake, have your glass of wine. You know, if whatever the case may be. It's not about being obsessive. So that's essentially the 80-20. Life is all about balance, essentially. And yeah, it's not about perfection, because people assume, oh, because you're a nutrition coach, you don't eat cake. What do you mean? I love cheesecake. Of course I eat cake.
Just not 10 slices of cake.
Exactly. Life's too short. Yeah. So even like, okay, I barely drink now. That's a story for another day. But if you, I mean, with alcohol, I don't know, why am I talking about alcohol?
No, it's a problem. But some people love drinking.
So with alcohol, for example, go for the lighter spirits. When I used to drink, I would do like gin and tonic was my thing, because it has less calories. So the white spirits, for example, have less calories, less sugar. So do your gin or your vodka. I never used to use mixers, so I don't drink soft drinks. Obviously, they're not good for you. So I would normally do it with soda water or tonic, for example. If it's wine, do a red wine. So, you know, it's all about balance. So that 20%, have your, should I call it a treat? Have something that's, you wouldn't eat 80% of the time, is a better way to think about it. And because, I think when you're too strict as well, it's just not sustainable.
Just don't treat yourself every day.
No, exactly. Hence the 20%.
That's helpful for the starting. How about the maintaining? Because I find a lot of times we may start these diet fads, or we do really well. We start the week, we're doing the exercising, we're doing the healthy eating, even going to the gym, and then all of a sudden something happens, and it's kind of like, how do I keep consistent, really?
But I think that's the perfection thing.
Right.
We're striving so much for this perfection. I think we just need to relax a bit with it. Then you find it's part and parcel of who you are. Because for example, when I go on holiday, I completely relax my eating. So I'll try 80% of the time to eat well. I may not work out as many times as I would if I was back in England, but once I'm back, I'm like, okay, I'm back now. If I need to do a detox, I'll do a detox. Maybe do a challenge, get back on track, and I'm okay. So it's okay to have a slip, or whatever the word is, as long as you're not doing it for too long. Because then if you're not doing something for too long, we're all like that. It's really hard to get back on track. So for me, it's the fad diets, that's why they don't work. I'd say. So it's really just because for me it's habit. I feel weird if I haven't worked out for like a week. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't worked. You know what I mean? Or like, what are you eating, Yvonne? It just becomes a lifestyle. And it just falls into place
Yeah.
eventually, and it becomes more sustainable when you know what to eat for you, and but which is why sometimes you need a coach to support you. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that we should, once in a while treat ourselves, because I read about that when you get to a certain age, because I'm going to ask you about menopause, when you when you get to a certain age, I read that you're not supposed to just steer away from bacon, sausages, those processed meats. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to, because of course I love certain brands of sausages.
I
and
see.
and
Cumberland.
do treat myself.
I don't like sausage.
Oh, I love a Cumberland
hate
sausage.
sausage.
Yeah, there's certain. Oh, come on, there's some that
I
are
don't like
lovely.
discussion
about sausage.
I do not. I don't get it. I've never gotten.
Really?
It's yucky. I don't like sausage.
No, it
Bacon,
depends.
yes,
No.
and
It
even
depends.
bacon I can live without. But sausage, I don't get it. I really don't.
There's some that are really nice you get from the supermarket counter.
I don't like them.
Sponsored by Tesco. I was like, I'm waiting for that.
I don't like
Yeah.
sausages.
So in relation to menopause, what advice would you give? Because it just hits you and you think, oh my goodness, what's happened to me? Where do I stand now? So what
Yeah.
advice would you give?
I mean, in relation to the sausages and bacon, we can't let that one slip. I would. It's not age. I would say avoid their processed meats.
Yeah.
So we really want to be avoiding them. Full stop.
Okay.
I mean, you can have them once in a while, but they
yeah.
shouldn't be like you're having them on a weekly basis. And the reason being the processed meats, it's not nutritional at all. I mean, if you were to eat sausages, I'd say at least go for 70% plus meat in it, because the ones that have less meat, they have other stuff put in there.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to go for at least 70% meat, whatever the meat is, chicken, pork, etc. So at least it's 70% meat, but you don't want to be eating it on a regular basis because it's a processed meat. Is it like what's the word? I can't pronounce it. Carcinogenic. Similar to especially if you're barbecuing, is similar to cigarettes, etc. So you really want to try and avoid as much processed foods as possible, which would include processed meats like bacon, sausages,
Chorizo.
chorizo.
I love a chorizo as well.
I don't like
Pepperoni.
chorizo.
I love to open my
All that
fridge and just clear it all
I
out.
don't like
after the conversation.
chorizo. I don't like pepperoni.
Good.
Yay.
Oh.
And I don't like sausage either.
I love a
Good.
chorizo.
Yeah,
Lucky
you
then.
really
Yeah.
want to avoid them as much as you can,
Okay.
or not eat them as frequently, and eventually cut them
cut
out,
them
because
out.
it's honestly not doing anything for you. It's not.
Not doing anything.
The things with those, it's how it's the flavorings, it's the ingredient. Just look at the ingredients at the back, and a lot of these, because especially in America, that's why we have food addiction. It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
It's
the additives.
the additives.
Yeah.
And it's because it's actually an addiction that people don't realize. Food can. There are people where we have clinics for there's sugar addiction, there's different addictions, but food as well, it can be it's just not helping.
It seems like I don't like some things that are not good for me.
Which is
so.
great.
Waiting for that. But you do like bacon.
I do, and and it's something I can go without.
Jerk pork.
But jerk pork is not processed. What are you gonna call jerk pork processed?
Yeah.
Is jerk pork processed?
no,
meat?
no,
It's not.
We're going to find something, don't worry.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But smoked salmon, is that processed or?
So salmon is great in terms of it being a healthy fat. So I would definitely go for salmon. Again, go for as fresh as you can. As fresh as you can, or organic if possible. Because with salmon as well, they put colouring to make it. Let me not
Make it
put,
pink.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So honestly, just try
Go for the
go
fresh.
organic as you can, or as fresh as you can as well.
Because the thing is, like, sometimes I want to make a salad, and I find smoked salmon is easy. It's there. It's readily available. So it is kind of.
Yeah, just remember, if it's 9 out of 10 times, if it's from a packet,
It's not good.
it's not fresh or whole food.
So cook
Just
the
think about
salmon.
the whole food. Yeah, so that's probably your best bet. But going on to your question around perimenopause and menopause,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with menopause, a lot of women don't realize you're not in menopause until a year after your last period. That's when it's menopause. So the transition is actually perimenopause. So one can be in perimenopause for like 10 years or even longer. And that's when you go through the range of symptoms. And then there's one day you have your period stops for a period of 12 months without a period. That's when it's actually menopause. And that's when you're in the menopause. But with menopause, of course, it's different for different women, right? So we'll all have different symptoms. And majority of those symptoms can either be stopped or managed via your nutrition. So I can't give like a generic advice because it's different for different people. But what you're eating can help manage, like for example, hot flushes or there's so many symptoms, which again, different foods can help to manage them. But it's definitely a time where we should be mindful of what we're eating because it can help alleviate the symptoms. But also, as our bodies change, it's really time to balance our hormones because our estrogen levels drop, progesterone, testosterone. I mean, some women would go on HRT, but the one way to ensure we're getting that hormonal balance is through our diet. And we also need to be more mindful of bone health, for example, because as the estrogen levels drop, which is why women are more prone to have osteoporosis. Because our bone health just, so we need to be increasing things like calcium and that's why some women, they have symptoms in relation to their joints, pains, things like that. There's more falls for women at that time, and that's where strength training is so important because we also start losing muscle as we age. Women, we start losing muscle as we age, particularly when perimenopause hits. So it's so important that we're building that muscle through strength training, but protein. So are we getting enough protein? Because protein is our body's amino acids. It helps to build the muscle. So we really need to ensure we're getting adequate protein to help build our muscle, but also keep us fuller for longer. But it also helps in terms of like our bones. It's amazing, and that's where nutrition can really, really support. But it would depend on whatever symptoms. Some women are lucky enough just to have one. Some may have 10. Some may have hundreds of symptoms. It's so different for everyone. But even things like psychological symptoms in terms of your mood. Again, I mentioned sleep. You want to up your magnesium, for example. It really depends on. And there's lifestyle things as well. So, like I said, movement. If sleep is an issue, it's looking at your sleeping habits. How can we help improve that? It's so different for different people.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you think about like collagen supplements? Because again, that is something that I think women over 40 talk about a lot. And then like plant-based protein, like hemp. Like I tend to do smoothies.
Look
and
at
I'll add.
Yes. I love it.
Add a bit of hemp. So I just wondered about so you would encourage the collagen
100%. I take those myself because again it helps with your bone health. Nails, these are my natural nails, even though I just so annoyed. I'm gonna fix that when I get home. But skin, because the thing with menopause, our body basically has hundreds of cells. We all have different receptors. Once we hit perimenopause, a lot of those cells are affected. Hence why we have symptoms literally from your hair right down, because for some people the hair starts thinning, for example, in menopause. It can affect your skin. It can affect anywhere in your body. So the symptoms can happen anywhere on your body. So with collagen, for example, it's great again for bone health, for skin, hair, nails. But particularly for bone health, it's a really good one. Plant-based foods are great. So I try and eat mainly plant-based, basically fruit and vegetables.
But they have phytoestrogens, which are so good for perimenopause. They alleviate so many symptoms. But I love seeds. Seeds are a powerhouse they have so many different minerals. So hemp is a good one. Chia seeds are fantastic. Chia seeds. So well done. And the good way with seeds is like you said, put them in a smoothie. You can sprinkle them on top of cereal. Salads, I add them to my salads, and extra crunch. You just find different ways to get them in. So yeah. But again, even with things like the supplements, you want to go for really good quality, because wellness at the moment, it's great. Everyone wants to be well, but brands are making a lot of money because people want to be well. So don't believe the hype when they say this does X.
Do your own research.
Do your own research, do your due diligence, check the amount of whatever they're claiming is in whichever capsule it is. I mean, for me, get it from your nutrition and basically use supplements just to top up. Especially if you know you have a deficiency like iron or whatever the case may be, or once you reach a certain age, I started just topping up certain nutrients I knew I would need to prepare me for perimenopause. So I'm ready for perimenopause. Bring it on. I'm ready. I honestly am. But it would just help to manage. I think once it hits, I honestly think I will manage pretty well.
Wow.
But again, it's mindset as well. So that's my mindset going into it. Because in the West, when we think about perimenopause and menopause, it's like, oh my gosh, it's seen as something really bad. It shouldn't. Again, it's mindset. In some countries, they celebrate it. You know how in Jewish traditions, they celebrate bar mitzvah for boys, or in some African cultures they will celebrate when a girl starts menstruating. Again, in some cultures, I think in some African cultures, they celebrate when a woman hits perimenopause. They're like, it's that time of your life where women are wiser, and so they see it as a good thing. So we need to change
that mindset.
That's our mindset. It's so important. It's how you go into something can really. It's same as when people are diagnosed with cancer. Some do so well. I mean, for me, it's always about faith anyway. But aside from faith, it's just something about if you go into it with the right mind, you're more likely to go into remission. But so it's the same with it's not everyone's going to go through it, so we may as well embrace it and do our best to thrive during that transition. And it's a celebration. You've reached 50 or 55, whatever it is. God has blessed you to live that long. Just look at it in a different way and eat right to support your body.
That's amazing.
So must have had the right mindset then, because you're saying all these symptoms. I'm thinking, what symptoms? But anyway, let's carry on.
No, I was just going to ask Yvonne about 5 key recommendations for someone where you talked about change and trying to kind of implement change gradually. So just for someone starting out who may not have the healthy habits that some of us may already have. What would be your 5 key recommendations?
I would say progress over perfection. It honestly is a journey. None of us is perfect. Only Jesus is perfect. Sorry, I have to bring Christ into this. Amen. So progress over perfection. There's no such thing as I think straight away you go into with that. I think be patient. Right, because this is why people go for fad diets, etc. They get upset when it's not working. You just have to. It's like I said, it's a journey. So just be patient. The way I coach my clients is complete and free. So you want to ensure your diet consists of enough proteins, you're getting enough carbohydrates, fiber, and then you're also getting this healthy fats in on your plate. So you want the fiber and vegetables to be half of your plate. Eat the rainbow. The more vegetables we're eating, the more vitamins and micronutrients we're getting in. And then your protein and carbs should be like a quarter of the plate. us African Caribbean and Africans, like, Lord, why is your plate full of rice? And then you're telling me, no, it's the other way around. So try and think, I'm gonna put my veg, and then what am I gonna eat to complement my veg? Just turn it around. Like I said, the 80-20, it's all about balance. So whole foods, be flexible, you can have your treats. And I think it's also really important to remember the lifestyle. So are you getting enough sleep? How are you managing your stress? Ensure you are putting that self-care in. Honestly, self-care is so important. Looking after ourselves, prioritizing. Are we getting enough rest? This is a Black woman. I mean, we have National Black Women Day of Rest. It's there for a reason. We need to ensure we're resting. What are we doing? Like, what routine do you have? Get into a routine. I think if it's a routine, it becomes part of you. When you're like, oh, I haven't done X today. Like you said, about find things that make it easier for you. So whether you need to put an alarm on your phone to remind you to drink water. Now we have so many apps, hydration apps or whatever. Using things like MyFitnessPal, whatever you can use to just help you. There's no help is there. I think the good thing of living in this digital age, there's so much support, but ensure you're getting it from the right person or source or whatever the case may be. And I think the thing is to start. When you said for someone starting, just start. There is, because people keep putting out, oh, the new year, everyone's so excited.
New year, new me.
All of that.
Gym is full.
Just start. Though you will stumble along the way. Pick yourself back up. Find your community. Find your tribe. And I say those are the things I would.
Yeah, it's helpful. Lovely.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And I mean, we are about 3 minutes out, but I want to get one last question in. Any advice for women who are childbearing age, who are dealing with things like fibroid, cysts? What's the other one where people get really painful periods? Like, are there any
endometriosis?
So is there any nutritional advice that supports with things like that?
So basically with reproductive health, again, it's similar to, it's different for everyone. So a lot of those you find they're probably low in iron because of course, if you're bleeding for longer, heavier periods. So you want to whether you need, some may need to take an iron supplement actually, but ensure you're eating those iron-rich foods. Be mindful of energy because of course one would be feeling fatigued, more fatigued. So again, all those carbs to ensure you're getting enough energy. Ensure rest is so important for that as well. So prioritizing rest and self-care. I think it's even more important just to ensure you're getting all the nutrients you need, because in a lot of those cases is the individual getting enough nutrients. So even doing things like tests just to test you're getting, and then of course ensure you're eating the foods that will nourish you. It's so important to nourish yourself even more if you have certain conditions, and like I said, it will be different for everyone, because I know a lot of women that may have endometriosis may also have endometriosis and they're managing both, and the different herbal teas are good to help relieve some of the pain. There's so many different things we can do. Herbs are also great for things like sleep, etc. So
amazing. This has been such a good conversation, and it's one of those that you're left thinking, oh yeah, we need some more time because or another episode so we can talk about more.
I'll come back more.
Oh yeah, so we'll hold her to that. But for our viewers who are listening, we will put your handles in the description box down below. I know you're on Instagram, you're on LinkedIn. Where else can people find you?
I'm also on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel, and then I also have a WhatsApp community, which I think is great. It's women only, and it's for all women really who are on this journey, wherever you are on this journey, and being with like-minded women who are just striving to be the healthiest of themselves. We do challenges, I do sessions, provide advice, tips, just that empowerment, support, and so all that good stuff. But you can find me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube.
Awesome, awesome. And so, I mean, obviously, if people want a bit of support from a certified nutrition coach who've been there, has the receipts, and can support, do reach out to Yvonne on one of her handles. And thank you so much for coming. And just to say to our viewers, do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, everybody. That's
Thank
a
you.
wrap.
Thank you.